seconds. Okay, we're live.
Right.
Okay, so now we are on air. Oh, more people has joined. Super. Welcome to everyone. And just to start, we would like you to welcome everyone. We are super happy to have this first topic related online meeting. And first of all, we chose this topic because we created a survey in Facebook and you voted this option, mental health. We'll proceed with this presentation. And just for you to know, mental health is one of the regional priorities of the region of Europe. And we will relate different topics or different sections of mental health just to help you with this topic. And first of all, we will present a little bit the topic, and afterwards we would like you to discuss, to exchange ideas, etc. Okay?
Right.
But first of all, well, if you have any question, of course you can say it whenever you want. Okay. First of all, we would like you to introduce yourself. Yes. Next slide.
Do you see the next
right.
slide? Okay. Ah. Okay.
Okay,
that's very fun.
Yeah, I will start if you want, just to break the ice. So hi, I'm Blanca. I'm the SCOPH Regional Assistant for Europe with Vicky, just you to know why we are talking mainly. And I come from the NMO of Aix Catalonia, and my color of my toothbrush, actually I do have two. The first one is pink, and the second one is for the trips, and I think that it's yellow. I think, yeah. Who wants to go next?
Right, so we just have to say our names and where from and something funny about us,
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that.
Oh, does everyone see the presentation?
I don't.
You have to
but
click
not
on
with
my
the whole-
picture.
We see it. Just click present, top right corner.
Oh, it's already on present.
Yeah. Just make the full presentation. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, nobody's biting, but I can go next if nobody wants to. So I'm Vicky. I'm the second SCOPH. I'm also with, and I'm from BVMD Germany. And I also have two toothbrushes. One is pink and one is silver.
I can go
Super.
now. My name is Aina Maria, and I come from Aix Catalonia as well. And I am super happy because Joan is here, and he will present himself later. And I have two toothbrushes. One of them I don't remember the color, and the other one is yellow.
Okay.
I can go next. My name is Katarina. I'm from Norway. And I also have two toothbrushes. One electric that is blue and one normal one that is pink. And I'm very happy to see so many people here.
Right. So, can you hear me? I don't think the microphone is very well set. So.
Yes, we can hear you properly. No worries.
Right. So first of all, my name is Vlad. I'm from Romania, and I'm the coordinator of the mental health program. I'm not an NPO or something like that, but I'm very pleased to meet you all. And about my toothbrushes just have one, and it's black. So yeah, nice to see you all.
Yeah.
I can go now.
I have just to mention I have only one toothbrush because I'm from Romania, so if you drink blood, you don't need so much brushing. It's just a fact.
Good reason, yeah.
So
Can I
who's
go?
next? I think so.
Let's go, Carlos.
So my name is Carlos. I am the NPO of IFMSA Spain. My toothbrush is blue, and I'm really excited for this online meeting.
Super.
Okay, I can go next. Hi. I'm Gregory. I'm from Helsinki, Greece. I'm the NPO of Helsinki, Greece. And I have two toothbrushes, one for the trips too. So the first is green, and the second one is blue, as far as I remember. And yeah, that's all.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Savina. I'm also from Helsinki, Greece, and I have actually. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Pretty well.
Okay. I'm Savina. I'm from Helsinki, Greece, and I have actually lost count of how many toothbrushes I have because I keep forgetting what they look like. So I mix them up with my family's toothbrushes, and so I end up getting new ones. But my primary toothbrush is blue. That I remember.
Hello, I'm Julian. I'm from Amsa, Austria. I'm the LPO of Innsbruck, and my toothbrush is green, but I need to change it because it's very worn out. So yeah, I need to get a new one.
Well, I'm Joan. I'm the third member from AX Catalonia, and I don't know if you can hear me well.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I have two toothbrushes, one blue, and the other one is for nights when I go to parties and those things, because I live in a village, so I have to have one in the city, and that one is purple.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm Konstantinos, also from Helsinki, Greece. I only have one, I make the difference. It is a green one.
Hello, I'm Carlotta, and I'm also from Amsa, Austria, and I'm the LPO of Vienna. And the color of my toothbrush is blue, I think.
Super.
Is someone missing?
Yes, I don't know. I think that no. Someone missing?
Milica?
Yeah, Milica. But Milica is not here.
Okay.
No. Okay, we can proceed. Yeah.
Okay. Does everyone see the presentation?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, then we can start.
Super. So and to introduce you the definition, the official definition of mental health, the one given by the WHO. And mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, and can work productively and fruitfully, and she's able to make a contribution to her or his community. Okay, we just wanted to introduce this definition to you because it's the official one, the one that the WHO uses, but we will go more into in order to explore a little bit what mental health is. And actually, we will relate this topic, mental health, with advocacy, because advocacy, as we understand it, it's, sorry, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Advocacy. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Pretty well.
Okay, I will I will keep on talking. Advocacy is the act of pleading, arguing in favor of something, such as a cause, idea, or policy. In fact, it's being active and support something. And in order to raise awareness on mental health and the mental health disorders, and the people, of course, who have any of these disorders, we need to advocate and we need to raise awareness among population, among med students and healthcare students, among all the population that needs to raise awareness or to have a very strong background about what mental health is, and of course the people who suffer or who have any kind of mental health disorder. Afterwards, in order to know which is the main impact or the main function of advocacy and why we do advocate, we would like you to know what Malala, I think that everyone knows who is Malala, right? Yep. So Malala said, there's a moment when you have to choose whether to be silent or whether to stand up for something. And advocacy, mainly, it's to stand up for something that you believe and something that you need to express to the society in order to be changed. So that's why we are advocating, right? So next slide.
Is it working? No. Yeah.
No. Yeah, now. So what I was saying is that advocating is needed in order to give people a voice about issues that are affecting them, affecting the society, and at the same time, it helps us to build a strong evidence of what needs to be changed and what need or the how of this change, because of course we can know which is the change that we need or we want to see in the society, but we need to know how to do it and how to proceed with this belief or with this idea. So afterwards, in order to advocate properly, we need to influence people with power, people who is in the parliament, people who's changing the law, people who have a direct impact in the society and in the country. And of course, everything will involve or everything will have a real impact in a positive change in the society. Because of course, our main goal is actually to have a better society, a better social justice, and of course, equality. So that's why we are advocating. Sometimes we need to remember this. And who can advocate? Of course, everyone can advocate. You can advocate. Your father can advocate. Your grandmother can advocate. Everyone can advocate. Has a belief to stand up for. So that's why we wanted to stress the importance of this belief or of this idea that you don't need to have a lot of experience. You don't need to know a lot of content about mental health. You don't need to have a strong background about what mental health is and what you can do. You need to have a main goal for it. And here we would like you to give you a little bit a brief of what advocacy and mental health is. And mainly, what's advocacy? Advocacy is an important, which is the impact or the importance of advocacy. Advocacy is an important means of raising awareness on mental health issues, ensuring that mental health is on the national agenda of governments, and advocacy can lead to improvements in policy, legislation, and service development. As I have said, why we advocate, and one of the branches, of the important branches of advocating, is to have a strong influence on the people who have power and on the people who's changing the legislation, the policies that are currently in our country. So yes, that's why. And relating mental health with advocacy, the main advocacy definition related to mental health defines this concept, this mixed concept of mental health advocacy, in order to develop and promote the human rights of the people who have a mental health disorder, and to reduce the stigma and discrimination. So just to give you an example, advocacy, this field began when the people and the families of the people who have any kind of mental health disorder wanted to make a change and wanted to make their voices heard, wanted to raise awareness on this. And here we will show you a practical example. And it's the example of a federation that born in Spain some years ago. And first of all, there was like a kind of reform in the legislation related to psychiatry and other issues related to this mental health topic. And in Andalusia is one of the regions of Spain, is one of the biggest ones. And after the reform, there was no movement. And afterwards, a few years after this reform, a family organization started in Sevilla. It's one of the cities of the region. And this federation that was created by the family organizations was a real crucial role in the parliament and in the government of the regional government, because to influence the regional members of the current parliament, and of course to mobilize public opinion. So this foundation, responsible for community services, etc., help to give employment to people who do have a mental health disorder. And that's why it's important, because they help to the implementation of new health services, and of course the quality of life of the people who have any kind of mental health disease, or mental health disorder improved. So that's why a small family organization became stronger and stronger and stronger, and they ended up with a change in the parliament and the members of the government. So that's why it's important. And here you can see different campaigns, local and regional campaigns, in order to advocate for this. And we wanted to show you these pictures. Yes? Anyone has a question?
No, not now, actually. Maybe later.
Yeah, hi Elizabeth. Yes, she has joined now. Okay, so let's continue. And we wanted to show you this picture survey, because there are different types of actions and advocacy actions, of course. And the ones that we showed you before, the two pictures, were about raising awareness. It's one of the actions, but you can also give information to the general population. You can educate or train people, like for example we do in IFMSA with the PHLTs and other workshops. You can give mutual help between each role. Afterwards, you can mediate. You can have open spaces in the parliament in order to discuss different topics with the general population and the people who are a member of the parliament. You can do policy making. You can create policies in order to advocate and to change different legislations of every country. And you can denounce or defend different positions. So that's why it's important to know which are the different pathways or ways in order to advocate for something. These practical actions are not just specific for mental health. You can use these actions for whatever you're advocating. So yes, just to give you like a brief introduction about what advocacy is and how you can advocate for something that you believe on. And yes, Vicky, your crown.
Okay, so we will go into the mental health direction of advocacy, and there are different stakeholders which are very important for us. For example, the general assistant we have in Europe, she has the regional priority of mental health as her focus point, and what she's doing is that she's collecting all the different stakeholders we have in Europe. For example, of course, like in the world we have the World Health Organization, but we also have some organizations like the Mental Health Europe, or the European Alliance for Mental Health, which are doing something specific for Europe. And Mental Health Europe has a very nice newsletter, just as a recommendation. And then there's also the Global Ministerial Mental Health Summit. It took place in October in, I think it was in London, and it's been different leaders and mental health professionals come together and to discuss the topic of mental health and have different workshops. So there's also that. And like the IFMSA, the EMSA, there's also a European Federation of Psychology Students Associations. So there are different stakeholders already we have in Europe. And to let you know how to actually map stakeholders, or what stakeholder mapping in general is, we have like a short slide, because I think some of you already know that. So the first steps of stakeholder mapping is like how to figure out who you want to advocate with. So first you need to identify the stakeholders that are in your area or around the world, and then you need to analyze like what they're doing and whether it's working with what you stand for, and it's all these different parts that have to be taken into consideration if you have the same points of actions, the same ideas, and the same goals you're striving for. And then it's important to map them. So on the right side, you can see this grid, and you have to figure out whether they have a high power or a high interest in working with you, and therefore you need to take special account of that. For example, if they have a high power and they're high interested, they are good stakeholders you want to work with. But if they have a very less power and less interest, then you do not have to put that much effort in working together with them. So all these different things that have to be taken into consideration, and then also understanding and trying to work together. If I'm talking too fast, just stop me. Okay, so there are different steps on how to advocate, so to give you a more practical information you can take home. So the most important thing we always say is that you first have to do some research. So like to know the key questions and have solid information, and to know what you want to tackle. So this is the first one. And then the second one is to realize that you're not alone, like you're not the only person who's fighting for mental health, for example, like this time, or for AMR or whatever it would be, and find people who are standing for the same values, and join up, because together you're stronger and you can exchange ideas. And then not only joining up with people like medical students, but also building alliances with stakeholders, and like the list I showed before, if there are people in your region that are doing the same thing, getting in contact with them, and yes, together you're stronger, as I said before. And then it's very important to set clear goals and expectations on what you're working for and what you want to reach. So there are these different steps, but it's very, like, you cannot do advocacy and expect anything if you don't have any clear goals on what you want to reach. And then you need an action plan and a time schedule, because advocacy can take a very long time. So we usually say like 1 or 2 years, or advocating can sometimes, like on a national or international level, not be enough. But if you do it on a local level, sometimes you can also reach huge things in a short amount of time. So just have a time schedule and try to plan everything ahead. So in the FMSA, we're also advocating for mental health. So I have a few examples on what we're doing. So we have different trainings and capacity building. For example, there were PHLTs on mental health. We have them in different regions. The last time in Europe, it was, I think, 1 year ago. And then we also have policy papers on mental health. We have different regional and international campaigns, which I will explain in the next slide. And we have different programs. So I think everybody of you knows programs where the activities are sorted in, and we have one IFMSA program on mental health. The coordinator is Milda, and whenever you have any question concerning your activity on mental health, you can just directly contact her. And apart from that, we're also organizing other workshops. For example, we have the Mental Health Essentials for Future Healthcare Professionals, which will take place at the Priya Reach Me this year in St. Petersburg. So these are just two examples on what we have. Like we have the European Vision policy paper, and then we have youth camps, which was for the World Mental Health Day last year in October, and it was a mental health campaign we did worldwide. Exactly. So this is about it for the input part. If you have any questions, we can either ask them now, or we will start with the discussion. Whenever you have any question, you can just directly ask us. So what we wanted to know is that to also let you discuss and to ask you whether you have ever advocated for mental health before, and if you have any project or activity in your NMO or in your local committee regarding mental health. And the third question is, like, it's not like very successful just to say, okay, I wasn't successful, but do you think that you would have been more successful if you would have known about stakeholders, or how to join up with people, or how to set up a plan? And there are different things, like it would take a long time to explain like all these things, but also about risks you're doing and all these things. Like, would it have helped you while advocating for mental health? Okay, so if anyone wants to start, otherwise I will continue like talking about a mental health activity I did, and whatever you prefer. Oh, this is not good.
In AIDS Catalonia, we are doing something. Joan, do you want to explain what do you have in Lleida, or what are you building in Lleida?
Well, okay. Well, in my local, we are trying to do like some workshops that go together, and we treat the mental health like topic. But I don't know exactly how to explain it. It's just we first want to learn what it is, then just learn ways we can practice it, ways we can, I don't know, improve our mental health, and then we were trying the chance to go to schools or even high schools, where we could explain to teenagers about mental health and how important it is. But well, I think we need more preparation for this, and I don't know, maybe you meant that, Aina Maria?
Yes, I meant that. We are speaking to trainers who will deliver pre-trainings on mental health and stigma, and after that we will build up the activities, not still built up at all, but we are talking about that.
So thank you so much for doing it.
Sounds really good, actually. And peer education is one of the IFMSA methods as well, in order to train or to, well, I think that at the same time advocate for any topic. So yes, sounds really good and really interesting. Anyone else?
I can go next.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Elizabeth from Portugal. Here we have our local committees. They do peer education in schools about mental health. And on national level, we have a program, a project that it's also submitted to the IFMSA program. It's called Burnout Buddy, and it focuses on burnout in medical students, and the main goal is to understand what mechanisms exist in each medical school for students to deal with their mental health issues. And then this is the first part, knowing which psychologists or psychiatrists that are available, the conditions, and then understand if the students know these mechanisms and if they are using it in order to understand what is the problem now that it's not allowing our students to have the support they actually needed, and to go to the medical schools to advocate for better conditions.
Sounds really interesting too. Actually, mental health is one of I think, I mean, it's not based on evidence, but I personally think that mental health is one of the topics that are more worked or developed in every region. For example, in Americas, they do have I think that a lot of projects of mental health too. But here also in Spain, because it's a hot topic now, I think, and yes, of course, among healthcare students, because of the pressure, because of all the things that we need to do, all the things that we study, etc., etc. So yes. Anyone else wants to share any idea? You can also discuss or ask for questions related to any activity that has been already mentioned, or you can also ask us if you have any doubt or if you would like to know anything else, etc. So yes, that's an open space for you.
Right. So I want to be my turn. So hi everyone, my name is Vlad again. So mostly in Romania we do program the mental health program for the medical students because we think that is well necessary for all the medical students to be assured that they can they they benefit from the help of the university and one or more programs in order to keep going through the medical education for all the 6 years of university. And talking about that, we do some workshops. Also, we promote the mental health activity by doing sessions of teaching in schools and high schools because we try to focus our attention about mental health in the areas which are most stressful, like the universities when you have exams and so on and so forth. You need to work on your psyche in order to maintain a calm relationship with yourself and colleagues and so on. And about the rest of the public, the non-medical public, here is a field where we think we have to work a lot because there are so many fields in policies which can determine the mental state of one group or more groups. And about that, I think we should talk at some point on this discussion about the policies regarding mental health on, I don't know, related public transports or the ministries of transports, the environment, so on, because they are related, kind of, to one another.
Yeah.
Because of course, when you talk about public health, you talk about basic stuff like blood donation, about the education of medical students, about hospital, education of the children in schools, in high schools, but it's probably the largest department, so we have a lot of work to do because we can influence a lot of people and a lot of policies.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, what you have said about public health topics, we could even relate climate change with mental health because it has been proved that, for example, living in an urban area, instead of a rural one affects also in the development of schizophrenia or psychosis. So yes, of course, we need to tackle a lot of branches and fields in order to tackle as well mental health.
Something
And
like,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt, something like health in all policies. That's the basic
exactly.
stuff I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, do you know what health in all policies is?
Sorry?
Do you know, like, asking everyone, do you know what health in all policies is?
Yes.
Yes?
Who said yes?
Would you like to explain it to everyone?
Well, I can try. It's like the vision of including the aspect of health in every policy made in all the levels, not just in the health policies itself. For example, caring about health in the mobility policies, in the I don't know, taxis, everything.
Exactly. That's what health in all policies is. And that's the main movement or the main pathway in order to follow by the, I think that the health in all policies structure was proposed by the WHO and UN as well, I think, if I'm not wrong. But yes, this is the main suggestion or recommendation in order to, as a big global topic. So
Right.
yes. Anyone else? One thing?
I would like to share some words.
Mm-hmm.
Here we don't have like a program or project for mental health. We have like a mental health coordinator in the SCOPH team. However, we are still on the brainstorming phase because we know mental health is an issue, principally among medical students, and we are trying to figure it out how to tackle it. We mainly act on national general assemblies. We do a couple of trainings on mental health or time management to avoid burnout. However, we are still trying to do something on a national level. So I think it was great to hear all of your ideas and projects. Maybe I can adapt something to the situation in here and bring something cool to it.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Actually, I think that's just to brainstorm different ideas and yes, actually another branch that is important right now and SCOPH is working because it's one of the branches of the strategy of SCOPH. It's the application in the medical curricula. And at the same time, we were thinking about, I don't know, for example, workshops during the meantime between classes, or even yoga classes in the university or something like this. These are different ideas as well in our mental health, and at the same time, you are applying or directly applying or this topic, well, mental health in because at the same time, as we have said, healthcare students are one of the groups or the population who are suffering the more this topic, this issue. So yes.
Okay, then I can explain which organization I founded. Because last year we founded an organization which is Mental Health for Healthcare Professionals, which works in different fields. And for example, we have local groups, but we also have a national committee. And locally, we work on implementing mental health more into the medical curriculum, but we have like different seminars and courses directly before we have state exams or big exams, and where they give us like preparatory tips, and we include different slides on whether how to take care of their mental health during this exam period, and where they could go if they have issues. And right now we're implementing these late night classes where they can go in the evening, where we have like yoga or mindfulness classes where they could go after university just to relax and chill out, and also meet people who are like exchange how they feel right now. And it's mostly about medical students right now, but we also have psychological students involved as well. And now we're working with a different organization who's doing pre-education in schools. So we're trying to combine all these different aspects. And apart from that, we also go to these days where all the employees of the university hospital meet up once a month and have like an introduction. And when new doctors come, they also go there. And we're also trying to involve some aspects of mental health there, just for them to also pay attention that it's a huge issue. And I exchanged like ideas with different doctors, and they were saying that it's insane how many people are suffering from burnout or different other psychological disorders. So yes, there are tons of different options on what you can do on mental health if you want to.
Actually, I think that we should have this in every university. You could come to Barcelona and do this, Vicky.
Of course.
I love you.
Okay, does anyone else have an idea over here? Some people haven't said anything, or if you don't have an idea, just say about, have you ever advocated for mental health in a different, it doesn't have to be like IFMSA or NMO based, just in a different context, or is it an important topic and do you feel like you could do something but don't know how? But then I think that this is the right meeting to express your feelings and exchange ideas.
Hello. It's really interesting to hear about everything. What I can say about Vienna is that I think for the past 2 years, we've kind of used the Mental Health Week. I think it's in May or something, to offer workshops about, well, not specifically about mental health, but just like yoga as well, and stuff to chill out and talk to other people, mainly for medical students. But we were also trying to set up a project about mental health and to share more about the topic, and to just raise awareness basically. But it's been really poorly accepted, if that makes sense. Like, there weren't many people really interested in taking part in it. We felt like it was really hard to reach people, and so we've kind of decided that the first step is to just talk about it a lot, and to make people understand that it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay, and it's an important topic to talk about. So we did have problems kind of setting it up and organizing everything.
But was it at the university directly?
Yes,
okay.
Most of it. We've also had people from outside join us for example, for the yoga sessions or something, but it was mainly for the students of our university.
We're going in the good way, because if you start saying or stressing the health, then afterwards, if you organize any activity or any project, they will understand that this activity and project is important. So yes.
I think the huge issue about mental health, like in contrast to all the other topics, is that there is a huge stigma, and you have to first fight the stigma and like clarify that you can talk about it, as you said before, that give the safe environment to, like, you don't even have to admit that you have mental health issues or something, but just that you perhaps need help, and and I think anybody needs help with their mental health, but yeah,
exactly. And there's a lot of people that already thinks that they will be judged if they express their feelings, etc., etc. And that's something that we need to change in order to also change this situation that we are right now, that maybe know something about mental health, but we need to change a lot of things, a lot of settings, a lot of ways of proceeding in order to raise more awareness on this topic. So yes.
So any other comments over here?
I can say something about what we do in Norway.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very long story, but I can try to make it short. We're working a lot with mental health in Norway, especially since we have a local committee for all the Norwegian students that are studying abroad. And this is like the biggest issue we have because they are spread all over the world, and it's harder to make an impact on the universities in other countries than Norway. And also the Norwegian government doesn't really want to take care of the students that are studying abroad. So it's a kind of never-ending going back and forth with the Ministry of Higher Education in Norway. But we are talking back and forth on what they can do to help the students that are studying abroad, which are according to lately done research that is not published yet, struggling more than the ones that are studying in Norway with mental health issues. So we are working, advocating towards the Ministry of Higher Education to make them make it more easily accessible with online psychologists for the ones that are studying abroad, because it's quite good in the local schools or universities in Norway, at least with like free healthcare and free psychologists. As well as we're working on just getting information out to all our members, both in Norway and those that are studying abroad, about mental health and how common it is. And so we are making like a small first aid kit for handing out to everyone that's moving abroad for studying medicine, with information about mental health issues and how to take care of yourself and where to seek help in the cities where we have more than 10 members of our NMO. And we're also working on making a social media campaign with many small or short movies with different topics in each movie, like how to take care of yourself, how can you help if someone around you is struggling, where can you seek help, yeah, etc. So we're working a lot on this topic right now.
Wow, so impressive, actually. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Actually, we will share with you with the NPOs probably, and they could share with you all the resources. But we will create like a kind of a folder with all the resources that we have. Other resources that we actually have in the database of SCOPH and other interesting toolkits, manuals, etc. Okay, just for you to know.
No, that is so sweet. Thank you very much.
Okay. Vicky, do you want to say anything else?
My mic just turned off. Can
you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, my mic turns off sometimes. Is anyone else left who wants to say something? Give comments, inspiration, whatever. Because I see none. Okay, if not, we're very happy that you joined us for the first meeting. You can give us feedback anytime. We were discussing about the structure and we were discussing different topics of mental health. For example, talking more about mental health education in schools or whatever we could have done. And we decided that mental health advocacy is like the most important thing to get people talking about it and to reduce stigma. And I think I can change my camera. And yeah, and we're hoping that you will take home some of the things we said, and if you have any questions and we went through some of the things too fast, you just tell us. Otherwise, we are at the end of our meeting, and yes, thank you very much for joining. You will receive everything via mail or via WhatsApp, and hope to see you soon at one of the meetings or anywhere else.
Yes, exactly. And of course, if you need any kind of resource or any kind of, I don't know, whatever you may think that we can help you, of course, we are here. Our email, some of you already have our email account, but if not, our email is in the IFMSA website. And yes, that's all. And yes, it's been a pleasure to have the first online meeting with you. We hope that well, I think that we will have more, of course, topics, etc. But yes, first one, and we are super happy to have you here. Okay.
Thank you very much for everything, and hope to see you soon, all of you.
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
Right here. You're so sweet.
Thank you,
people.
Okay, so if everybody could turn on the camera so we can take a picture, that would be lovely, and then we can finish this meeting.
We want to see your faces. Come on.
All right.
Oh, Katarina.
Okay, some of them are missing. Can you?
That one, super.
Okay. Becky, can you take the picture or should I?
We can do it both.
Okay. Everybody smiling?
3, 1, smile.
Okay. So if you have any feedback and you want to have another meeting on mental health, just tell us, and we were very happy to have all of you here. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.